Hey guys, my name's Mark Long. I've been with Carlson for going on about 11 years now. I've been in civil engineering since 1989. So I've seen quite a bit and grown with these programs through my career. The last time we were, well, at least the last class I believe I taught for Luis and Jim was just basic RoadNet stuff. And so what I wanted to do this time was to take it a little bit further, a little bit more advanced stuff that you may not, or you may run into or haven't run into. But let's go ahead. I've got a RoadNet here that I've already created. So this was all done before, in almost like the last class. So with the advanced stuff, I'm just going to fire up and start to show you guys how do you make a knuckle work? How do you make this little bubble work in Carlson software? Well, the easiest way to do this is, since I've got my RoadNet up here on screen, you see there's a road 2. That's the road I'm looking at. And I need to double click here in order to get into some of the items I need to add for this road. Now, when RoadNet, typically you've got to have these 3 files always: your center line, your design profile, and a template of some sort. It doesn't have to be crazy, and don't think of RoadNet just as roads. This thing will do swells, ditches, all kinds of stuff. RoadNet will do it, and you just need a center line and a vertical. So, think outside the box sometimes with some of this stuff because it'll come in handy. So, the first thing I want to do is show you guys how I would put in this knuckle. So I'm going to cancel this for the second, and I want to come in here. Now, what I'm about to do is I am just going to draw a trace my edge of pavement, okay, with a polyline. So I'm going to go polyline, and let's just snap to the end. Then we're going to do arc and second, and we'll get midpoint, and then we'll get that. And then I think I could just go around to the endpoint. Boom, just like so. So what I did, I just basically traced. That was it. Now I keep my edge of pavements and draw all that stuff because that's line work that shows up on all these plans. But this is just guidelines for me. So now let me go back to open up row 2. We can come down to template point centerline. Guys, template point centerline is quite possibly one of the best things in this program as far as road design goes. But what we're going to do here is I'm just going to make a new one. I had one, but I'm just going to make a new one. Click open, and I'm going to replace it. So we're going to do a brand new one. Now I'm going to slide over here to the edit. And what we're after now is, what we want to do is take a 27-foot back-to-back and basically force that to come around this knuckle. So to do that, I'm just going to click add, and then I am going to select the template ID point. So you guys, in our templates, we have unique names for edge of pavement, back of curb, utility strip, whatever. You're going to name them whatever you want to. Keep them simple. Keep them 2 letters. Edge of pavement. That's what I traced. That's what I'm going to use. And so now I can select a centerline file, or I can just screen pick. Let's just go down here and we'll screen pick this guy. And I am going to go, boom, there we go. Well, that's him right there. So I'm just going to pick him and assign it to centerline file. So what I'm going to call this would be, well, there's one right there, R2 bubble. I'm just going to overwrite that. Save, replace it. And now we have that center line out here referenced. Now, which side of the center line are we on? Well, the stationing comes from here around, so we're on the right-hand side. And pretty much from there, we can click OK. And I can save. If you have one on the left side, you can have one on the right and the left side. It's very complicated to explain how you can have a template point center line for each edge of pavement, a left and a right. for a sidewalk left and right. So you can do different things in here. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think you'll get the gist as we just kind of go through this. So as I go, I added in my template point center line. I'm pretty happy. Let's go ahead and click OK, and let's let it run. So we're going to see what happens if this knuckle goes in for us here, just like that. Now you can see it's building my surface. It's going to contour. It's going to do some things for me in here. Now, when I zoom in here, you can see that basically all I did was took the edge of pavement and made it follow this polyline. That was it. And so being able to do that, I can put in a knuckle. Now, other things that we could do in here as well. Let's just say, for example, I'm going to show you super elevation in another way, but I could come in here and do super elevation on road 2. And I have had reviewers and municipalities want me to super residential streets posted 35 or 25 miles per hour. But if you just click on the super elevation button, you could come here. There's one. I'm going to do new and replace it. And then I'm going to say, okay. Now, this is how easy it is to put super elevation in on roadways in Carlson software, because once I hit edit, now where I'm taken to is do I want to use transition curves or just use a reference center line? Well, I got my center line, so I'm going to do that. What methodology do you want to use? We have AASHTO in here, and apparently VDOT has something they like out of Virginia. My normal crown, we got to specify that. If you wanted to be exact, you could go 2.08, but I typically don't. The number of lanes, okay, they got 2 lanes here, and each lane 11 feet. Design speed, let's go to 35. Now, the next thing down here below is going to be like when you do super elevation in certain parts and different parts of the country, like I'm in North Carolina. So when I design, I'm allowed to do 2/3 of the transition prior to the PC. Okay, so it's kind of like, and then 1/3 into the curve itself, I start full super there. So at basically what ends up happening is at that PC, you are at a 2% cross slope. So on the whole road, which is what I'm after here. Now, if you want to do 100 in the tangent, so the whole thing, at the PC starts your full super, you can do that as well. It just depends on your municipality. Now, if you notice down here as well, you can come down here and assign your maximum super elevation, down here, whatever you wanted to use. And then you can also edit the tables. So once you come in here and you start looking at these tables, if you were to go, and this is off AASHTO, so if you were to go at a 35 mile per hour design speed for 4%, you're going to need a 371-foot curve. Okay, and that those things just give you that guidance that you may need, just looking at some of this stuff when you start putting it together. So I'm going to close that, and now I've kind of got everything here the way I like it, and so I'm going to go to OK. Once I hit OK, the Carlson program reads my center line. Okay, it has read the center line for road 002, and it has found that I have 2 curves in that center line. This first one, yeah, he's way up here. I'm not going to do much with him, but what you can do is I don't want to super that part. And so I can just delete it and remove it from my design. Then I'm stuck with this here. So I've got the transitions and the things for the super that's going to happen on this curve. If I double click this, I can edit this. Now let me get my dialog box has gotten all out of whack here. Somehow I can't get to the top of it. That's aggravating. Anyway, I don't think there's anything up there that you got to worry too much about, other than the fact that here you've got stations to begin to transition, which is that station there. You know, if you want to complicate life, you can leave it like that, or you can come in here and round it and have normal sense that you can come in here and I'll either round up or down so that I'm trying to stay consistent with my run in, run out, all that kind of good stuff. So, I just try to keep it simple for everybody. So I go down through here. I've got a 4% super. That's fine. All this is good. And then now, where's that full super going to start? Well, I could just 0, 0 there and just 0, 0 here. This is stationing. We'll leave it like that. And so once we do this, there's some more stuff down here at the bottom, but that's okay. Is save and click OK. And it knows something happened, something changed, and I'm being prompted, which is setting our settings here. And now it's going to come through here. It's going to add super down here on this road, whether we need it or not. It's just so I can show you guys. I just want you to understand how a lot of this stuff works. And so now you can really see again down here, if I exit this thing, save changes, yes. Okay, I always like to go and have a look at my surfaces. So I'll go to view. Every time I make a surface model, it's very important to go and look at these surface models. I think that's the one I'm using, so that you can see. Oh my goodness gracious, you guys, my screen is flashing like insanity. So bear with me. So well, if you guys can see that and it's not blinking like 10,000, like a strobe light, you'll see that there's super down there in that road. I'm just not going to be able to open that dialog box and go to meeting. I can see that.